Welcome to the Secret Underground Laboratory Recovery and Salvage, where rude mechanicals do magic. Hello, I'm Bronze Age, Director of Secret Underground Laboratory Recovery and Salvage. And today we're going to be working on this little small draw leaf table. Now it's called a draw leaf table for the fairly obvious reason that the leaves draw out from the sides. And we've got a few issues to address. The first one is that all of these corners have come loose and the table wobbles too much. We've also got some damage on one of the leaves, and then the X bracing on the bottom here. All these joints are loose. The corner joints are made to look like a mortise and tenon, which you might expect in this kind of furniture, but there's not a mortise or a tenon in this particular joint. You can see this groove here extends down below this board, and it goes all the way up to the top. There's one on each side for the sides of the table. And the way this joint is made, it's fairly simple. We start off just putting a groove in the table leg, and if you can see that curve right there, that's because this is made with a big round blade that just comes in and leaves that much scooped out. And on both sides, this piece just slides in. Now, in a lot of furniture mills, I've seen when after they did this, they put the glue in it and they just put little small nails through here to hold it in place till the glue dries. Well, at this point, the glue has failed, but as far as I could tell, there's no nails in here. So I may be able to loosen these joints enough to get fresh glue in here. Well, I can't say that it's going to come apart, but it has opened up enough that we will be able to get enough glue in here when we clamp it back together. We should have a good seal. I'm going to add a few pieces which will reinforce this corner, and we'll have to worry about that coming loose again. During all the handling, one of these corner blocks came loose, and it revealed the nail that goes into the sideboards. So we could definitely say none of these joints are going to be knocked apart, but they are loose enough to get a little bit of extra glue into them. The X brace is pretty much just a little simple butt joint and one screw. Yep, that's all it is. There's always one that wants to be difficult. Well, instead of coming loose, it just broke off, which sometimes that happens, but that's something we can deal with. When you have a project like this that has so many small repairs, you've just got to pick one to start with. In this case, I'm going to work on these broken screws right here. Now this is a little unusual as broken screws go, because first off it's on this corner and it's at an angle like that. So first thing to do is just start pecking away at it. Well, it seems that pecking and hacking hasn't happened. So, plan B. Plan B is this little core bit that I made myself. I didn't invent this. I'm sure somebody else has thought of it many times before. There we go. Now what I'll do is I'll drill out the rest of this stuff here, fill this with a wooden dowel, and clean it up, and it'll be ready to put back together. This is actually a table saw jig. I've probably got about 100 jigs now hanging up on the wall in various places all over the shop. And I have to label them like that because I really won't remember what they look like, and I'll end up making another one when I've already got the thing I need right there. I would prefer to knock all these joints apart and clean them and re-glue them, but I'm also afraid that that's just going to result in more damage. So the alternative is to drip as much glue down into the open spaces as possible. And because of the way this piece is made with those grooves, a lot of this is going to run down onto the table legs. So to prevent that, I'm going to get this clamped and then turn it upside down. Well, it took 6 pipe clamps, but this has finally got it back straight and square on all 4 corners, and with all the table legs pointing in the same direction. Now I can install the corner blocks while I'm waiting for the rest of this glue to dry. Now on a table with this kind of a joint, the corner blocks are critical. Mainly because not only does this joint have very little resistance to pulling, is also you're not going to have the big tabletop, which will fasten the whole thing together and keep it square. I'm going to put these here in place with a short nail, which will hold it down. Until it glue sets. And I'm just going to keep walking. Around the table until I get them all done. The last bit of lab overkill is a corner brace as one final reinforcement. And these screw holes are pre-drilled because you just can't drive a screw through oak. That's all there is to it. do to all the other three and move on to the next step. Using the clamps and the blocks like this is a trick known as the dumb apprentice. Second pair of hands that's not going to complain about working conditions or pay. It's especially helpful when you're trying to drive a screw into a part where it just naturally wants to go off to one side or the other. The last thing to do is to glue strips of green felt along the bottom side of the tabletop where the leaves are going to slide. Well, this is Bronze Age for the Secret Underground Laboratory Recovery and Salvage, and I thank you for sitting through this video about this little draw leaf table. I'd appreciate it if you would click the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and we will be back next week with another video. Again, thank you very much.